Today's panel is moderated by Terri Lyne Carrington and features Lalah Hathaway, Patrice Rushen, Sheila E., and Donald Harrison. So right now, I'm going to turn it over to you, Terri Lyne.
How do we transfer the knowledge that we have in jazz or other non-commercial genres to students in order to help them become better contemporary musicians?
Play for your kids. Sing for your kids. Don't tell them what you're doing. Just do it. Because then all of a sudden, your word takes on a whole different meaning for them.
I try to get singers to get engaged in terms of what the rest of the band is talking about. You know, can you have a conversation? And really particularly as a female, as a woman, you need to be able to stand your ground and talk about music. I don't want you to ever be in a band where everybody's talking about Atlantis and you don't know anything about it, or talking about Kinda Blue and you don't know anything about it. You need to learn those records. Just pretend that you're a drummer, pretend that you're a guitar player. It's going to increase your vocabulary. And that, you know, you're miles ahead of the game with that kind of vocabulary as a singer.
So many people don't know enough yet. You know, like they still need technique. I mean, my first thing is, my first lessons, I'll ask them some conceptual questions, their dream gig, various things. And then I'm thinking, oh wow, this is gonna be exciting. And then they go to play, and they're like, oh, okay, we have to get your hands together. You can't do any of this without decent hands.
Their goals are set high, which is great, but they didn't have that opportunity to be able to experience all of that because they never had that chance. So when they get to you, it's like, yeah, I wanted, and I heard so-and-so playing, I want to be this, and they play, and you're going, oh my God, they're beginners. It's like they're starting in elementary school.
All of us as educators, we didn't all come up doing exactly the same thing, exactly the same way. But that doesn't mean that if there's information that is along the lines of, that has to be given to the young people, that's really important in terms of the chronology and building on concepts. It doesn't mean that if it's a weak point for us as a teacher that we skip it.
All of us as educators, in my estimation, need to go to fundamentals. You know, on the drums, have your drummer understand, play the ride cymbal if you're playing the swing beat. Just sit there with playing the swing beat for 5 minutes every day till it gets better. Playing the snare drum.
And by watching and observing, by stepping back and just experiencing, you can gain a lot, but you have to be open. And I think if we're going to, as teachers, be able to recalibrate a little bit, that kind of openness is part of what we have to also teach.
You have to know when not to play is the key. When not to play. Because you can have all this stage can be filled with percussion instruments or drums or, you know, whatever you may play. It doesn't mean that you have to play it all. You have to be simple. Simplicity sometimes is complicated. It's so hard for people to play simple because they want to be heard, they want to be seen, they want to. So, prime example, I learned very, very quick. I was playing in Marvin's band, playing that one conga beat that I loved, and I couldn't believe that I'm playing with Marvin Gaye, and it's just amazing to be able to play that with him. And there were 24, 26 people in the band, and I'm playing that one conga beat, and we started, you know, playing. It felt good. We started dancing, and then we started, you know, doing a Jackson 5 step, and, you know, it was feeling good. But it felt good, and I played an extra beat on the other drum, you know, and Marvin is a soft-spoken man, very quiet and silent and sweet, and no one had ever heard him yell, and he just like, stop, you know, and we all stop, and you hear, you know, everyone's going, what the heck? And he turns, his back was to us because he was singing. He turned back and looked over at the percussion section, and he said, someone played an extra beat. And I'm like, oh my God. And so my brother and my cousin was in the band, and I said, excuse me, Mr. Marvin Gaye, I want to make sure that my brother never does this again.
If I need a singer for something that I want to do, and that singer is able to help to come up with background parts or write down this or the other, or has an affinity for the rhythm and things like that, and you sing great, but you don't have those things, who do I call?
But I really didn't start learning how to play jazz until I started playing with people in New York. Those guys straightened me out and, You know, I played with a lot of great masters, and they all beat me up.
I got called once to play one song with Aretha Franklin because she was playing the Greek and hadn't played in LA in many years. And so she brought her band, and then she had a big orchestra. H.P. Barnum was conducting it. I got a call the day before because the day before she decided she wanted to play Cherokee, up-tempo jazz song, and her drummer of however many years, a long-time drummer, couldn't play it. And I felt bad walking on his gig, you know, playing the one song. So I always tell my students, you don't want to be the person replaced on your own gig for one song because, you know, you didn't do enough homework to get through that.
I didn't get paid for a long time because it wasn't about money. The passion that I had to play didn't matter whether I got paid or not. So I kept begging people everywhere I went. I was watching, going to concerts, standing on the side of the stage. Can I play? Can I play? Can I? The experience came from playing and sitting in with people and hanging out and listening and learning and watching and playing with people. And I didn't get paid for a very, very, very long time because I just wanted to learn and I just wanted to play. So even graduating, coming out of school, I just continued to just beg people. No to me meant opportunity. It didn't mean, no, you're not going to do it. No meant, okay, I can't come on this side of the stage, but somebody else is going to let me in on the other side. And I just kept doing that. No meant opportunity, and I just kept begging and asking people until they said yes.